conscious awareness of the energy surrounding the word magic. Okay? And let me just get into that, dive into that, and see what that is saying or wants to communicate and everything. Okay, I'm seeing mirrors. I'm seeing a black mirror. I'm seeing a silver mirror or regular mirror, as you want to call it. I'm seeing them facing each other and having conversation with each other. And this conversation has to do with magic. And the conversation is the duality of the intent being reflected. And that is the separation. And that is caused by fear. Fear of not recognizing what is being seen and needing to not fully represent or be present, but to allow certain aspects to be present and not others. Okay. Light and shadow, these two mirrors represent. They are one mirror, but they are representing two. Two views, two perceptions, two ways of seeing. Light and shadow. White magic, black magic, light magic, dark magic. The word magic just being disseminated and having images and thoughts and desires heaped upon it when the original intent of the word was not so. It was one word. Magic was spiritual harmony, between the physical manifested world and the spiritual world, intent and matter. That which incarnates through the union. That is what magic is. That's what it was intended to be. And it got splintered like a mirror. It got shattered. It got fragmented. Different pieces were passed around. Those different pieces became ideologies of the whole when they were only bits and fragments. Okay. Sacred practice and magic and ritual may involve any of the guided exercises in this oracle. Choose what feels good for you and experiment with what might be a regular pattern or practice for you. You are worth the effort. Remember, whatever effort you do put in will be repaid to you in wonderful benefits many, 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 many times over. The faith of a mustard seed, beloveds. The faith of a mustard seed. That has been coming up in my Facebook journaling. Faith of a mustard seed. And also, Valerie, show up. Show up, show up. And there's a scripture in the Bible. If you just got to put a little step, and God got the rest. You just give a little, and the rest is whoo. And you might think your little is nothing, but it is everything, because it packs a spiritual power and not a physical. And in the spiritual realm, it is huge. But in this physical realm, it is teeny tiny or don't look like that ain't worth it. Girl, you don't know nothing. Don't know what? And it's exactly what somebody needed to hear. So give from your heart. Give that little bit. Show up. Show up. And this is a discipline because, like I said, that 6 year ago bicycle ride, I fell off, and I'm like, I don't know about getting back up there. I don't want to ride bike no more. You know? And it's about, okay, Valerie, the Merkaba was the first card. Your existence is to ride. You are truly ride or die. Let's go. Upgrade your car. Let's go. And so here we are. Ugh, this is deep, y'all. Okay. You are worth the effort. Remember, whatever effort you do put in will be repaid to you in wonderful benefits. Benefits! Woo! Benefits, y'all. Benefits. We say, I ain't got nothing. I'm poor. I'm this. I'm that. But sometimes we don't see the benefits. Those benefits show up as scholarships. Those benefits show up as invitations to training sessions. Those benefits show up as, if you need my help, let me know. Those benefits show up as, I've been watching you for a while now, and the things that you say really touch my heart. Or that helped me through a certain period of time. Or, you said that and I didn't like you at first, but damn, girl, you was on some real stuff right there. Benefits. And those benefits open you up because you're witnessing yourself. And you're witnessing these rays of light as benefits coming and touching you, touching your life, touching your existence, touching your mind, touching your spirit. And the more you begin to align, you see yourself giving. And you know that the more you spiritually give, the more you spiritually receive. So this dream was not a nightmare. It was an intimate lesson of wisdom, of my conscious awareness that I'm sharing. Okay. Choose what feels good for you and experiment with what might be a regular pattern or practice for you. Once you experience these effects, and it might only take a day or a week or two for the effect to show itself, and for some of us longer, years, you will be more committed to continue. The effects are cumulative. As you continue to practice, the positive effects continue to grow. If you have recently started sacred practice, this oracle is a confirmation that it is working well for you. And you should not to give up if you are not seeing the results that you had hoped for. They're coming to you fast. This oracle is also confirmation that if you are considering making an adjustment to your sacred practice, it might be time to do so. Provided that you don't dismiss the gains you have already made with your current practice, and you remember that sometimes small changes can have a big effect. Ritual magic practice with clear intent to be of service to the highest good and to manifest through unconditional love accelerates. What did I say, beloved? Accelerated Evolution was the program that I'm in and that I'm going to leave in the bottom of how to get in here. Accelerates your power and growth, particularly when it is based on what your heart truly desires. It might be about connecting more with your body, about stilling your mind, or expressing your voice or creativity. An example of a practice is outlined now, but it is simply an example. As long as you practice, as long as your practice includes invocation or prayer to divine forces of unconditional love, provides a structure through which divine energy can flow, and it feels natural and right for you, then it will work for you. Please note that if you have pulled the Pillar of Light card together with this one, including the ritual of the heart as your practice, is recommended at this time. Sacred practice with the Lady Isis. If possible, have some music playing softly in the background, a candle handy, ready to light. Rest quietly in a space where you will not be disturbed, and close your eyes. Say aloud, I call upon Isis who loves me unconditionally and my own divine self now, in love, light, peace, and power. Many blessings, protection, healing, and awakening abound. I detect my practice to self love. I dedicate my practice to self love. I dedicate my practice to self love. I dedicate my practice to self love. So be it. Sit quietly as you listen to your music and light your candle. Say, with this candle alight, I open my practice in sacred space. You may like to sing or chant the incantation below, or any favorite prayer or poem from this oracle, for example, in devotion to the goddess Isis as a way to move into your practice. I am, I am, I am. I am the divine. I am the light divine. I am the love sublime. I am the peace beyond space and time. I am, I am, I am. When you are ready to close your eyes and become aware of your heart and your body from the base of your spine down to your toes and upwards, the crown of your head, until you are peacefully aware of what the inside of your body feels like with gentle awareness. Follow the breath and keep your awareness in your body. When you are ready, imagine a soft ball of pure light within your heart expanding with your breath until it fills your whole body and your energy field extending around your body. Now, imagine sealing the light in a bubble of violet light and golden light in two layers, wide and strong, around your energy field. When you have done this, gently open your eyes and place your hands in prayer position with your forefingers touching your forehead, your head bowed slightly, and say, for divine light, love, and protection, I give thanks now. I am, I am, I am. When you are ready, just extinguish your candle and you are done. Incantation for sacred practice. You can say this incantation as excerpt for the ritual above as a part of your practice each morning or independently if you do not have time for a full practice. I am, I am, I am. I am the light divine. I am the love sublime. I am the peace beyond space and time. I am, I am, I am. And that was that card, beloveds. And we have a few more to go because we're doing 8 of them. This is the flower of life, divine creativity and manifestation. And boy, is it a card. And again, I want you to notice the birds, the lotus petals. On here, we have the live hawk of Horus, which represents Horus, Hawk, Falcon, which represents Horus. And we have the vulture headdress that Isis is wearing. And I am seeing these lotus petals, and I'm seeing nipples on some of them, not all of them. So that is deep for me, but here we go. Again, I see my There we go. And beloveds, you can look at these cards, the images of them online if you want. This is the Flower of Life, Divine Creativity and Manifestation. And again, it is in the Isis Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. Okay. Flower of Life, 62, which is an 8. 8 is the goddess number for me, beloveds. Okay, here we go. Flower of Life. You know, Flower of Life, Divine Creativity and Manifestation. You are reflecting, I'm sorry, for me. There. Okay. Here we go. Flower of Life, Divine Creativity and Manifestation. You are entering a fertile period of your life. Focus on your innate creativity and how potent this is becoming, and watch it rapidly grow. You are guided to think of yourself as a creative being and to surrender your control over how things will manifest, and instead allow them to do so. Don't resist change. Instead, flow and let it happen. Now is the time for your blossoming. Your soul is hungering for creativity and manifestation of the beauty in your inner world, to witness it and live it in your physical world too. Much of your spiritual energy is directed into creative process, and your creative powers are growing fast now as you are gaining more potency in your creative flow. It is important for you to use this growing ability wisely. Become aware of how easy and quick your thoughts and feelings are manifesting into conversations, situations, and responses from the universe. Notice how quickly your prayers are confirmed through signs and dreams, intuitions, and opportunities opening up for you. You are becoming more and more swiftly that which you choose to think, feel, speak, and believe. This oracle suggests that the time is ripe for you to choose to align yourself with love each morning so that your thoughts will serve you well and the manifestations you set in motion will be ones that enhance your life experience rather than more of what you do not want to experience. If you can require time, it can require time. If you can require time. Woo. It can require time, habit, and consistency to change patterns to thought and behavior, but it can be done. You are guided now to allow yourself absolute and radical permission to detach from past thoughts and behaviors, to bear the challenge of not knowing who you are or how you will be on the other side of the transformation in order to let it happen. The flower of life holds the secrets to allowing creative change and transformation of circumstances, manifestation and healing in the easiest and most enjoyable ways possible. The flower of life contains repetitive patterns, each interlacing and interrelating to the other, like the holograph that contains the whole within each part. I want to show you these by my fingers, those petals that look like nipples. And I want you to see that they're not on the other cards that are higher up. They're only down here. And so that what I just read for me just really resonated off the chain with that about um, the patterns and how swift things are and the motion and that it requires time. You have to wean yourself from the breath. And that takes time, just like it takes time for a mother to become used to the feel of her breast being heavy and of the need to feed their child, even before sometimes that child is aware that it's hungry and needs to be fed. That mother feels it, she feels it before that child starts to cry, or her breasts fill up as soon as that child begins to cry. And so with this saying, it can require time and habit and consistency to change patterns of thought and behavior, but it can be done. It spoke volumes to me. You are now, especially since my youngest granddaughter is now being weaned, so, and she's 2, so it's all of this, like I said, is so connected. You are guided now to allow yourself absolute and radical permission to detach. You detach from a nipple. From past thoughts, detach and unlatch. From past thoughts and behaviors to bear the challenge of not knowing who you are or how you will be on the other side of the transformation in order to let it happen. The flower of life holds the secrets to allowing creative change and transformation of circumstances, manifestation, and healing in the easiest and most enjoyable ways possible. The flower of life contains repetitive patterns, each interlacing and interrelating to the other, like the holograph that contains the whole within each part. And with this, I'm shown and being told to reflect on the flower of life being the seeds and the ovum of each of the divine feminine members of your family that gives birth, and how your great great grandmother held you within her and passed you on. And so that's a lot of what this is saying has to do with that, beloveds. And the fact that he's speaking of a hologram. We look back and we see our ancestors holographically, but they are right here with us in the present moment. In this way, all that is required is to tap into one part, one element, one thought, or one behavior that relates to your desired creative outcome and integrate it into your life. All the rest will follow through natural connection. And beloved, that's how we heal that mother wound. That's how we heal these ancient wounds that we've been carrying: psychological, mental, spiritual, physical, even on a subconscious, unconscious and conscious awareness level. All of these things are merged. And that's why the sages said this life is an illusion. All the rest will follow through natural connection. Ding, ding, ding. The ritual below will help you create in a powerful and focused way using the holographic power of the flower of life. So choose wisely what you would like to experience. Make sure in your heart you are willing to allow it to come to life. Because once you do the ritual, your life will change and move to accommodate your intention. It is a powerful skill within you that is growing, and what you put out will return to you multiplied. So make sure that it that is what you truly want. The oracle of the flower of life also brings guidance that you are in the midst of a changing pattern. And although it might be uncomfortable at first, 6 years ago I was speaking of falling off that bike. It may be uncomfortable at first, but it holds the seeds of what you desire. And to allow it to happen is wise and loving to the self. And beloved is the only word that I had 6 years ago when I was going through this was process. Allow the process, family. This is a process. Allow the process. This is a process. That's the only thing I had that was echoing and reverberating inside of me. This is a process. This is a process. This is still part of the process. This is still part of the process. And as I say that now, what just surfaced in my spiritual mind was Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, and Daniel, and them having to be put in the furnace and being fired in that furnace. And they were not in there by themselves, but they had to be in there for that spiritual firing. That spiritual, physical anointing they went through. It was a process. And they had to die unto themselves to do it. And there was great fear. Because if you didn't bow down, the law said you were to be killed. But it was because of the seed that was in them. They refused, even upon death. The oracle of the flower of life also brings guidance that you are in the midst of a changing pattern. They were in the midst of a changing. They had to leave their holy land and enter into a hostile, to them heathenistic society, godless society. So that was a change. They went from their ancestors and their ways into something new. As we are getting ready to do, beloveds, in this Aquarian age. Okay. The oracle of the flower of life also brings guidance that you are in the midst of a changing pattern. And although it might be uncomfortable at first, it holds the seeds of what you desire. And to allow it to happen is wise and loving to the self. Be brave, beloved, initiate. The flower of life is nurturing you into a more whole expression of your divine self. Yes, there will be moments of questioning or doubt, but they are such a small part of the beauty unfolding for you now. Enjoy the flowering of your soul light into a form on this planet. It all it's in all its diverse beauty. And here I am going to read this ritual again. And I'm going to show again the flower of life, sorry. Go into your heart space and relax your breathing from your belly to your chest, feeling the rise and fall of the body along with the breath. Allow yourself to cultivate the feeling, image, sense, or perception of something you would really like to create. Become or be right now. Come from a place of joy and love, something that really makes your heart sing. Don't worry if it seems too much or impossible. Don't think, analyze, or judge. Just feel with your heart and trust. Sit with your vision or feeling and then gaze at the pattern of the flower of life below, holding the vision, feelings, or image in your heart as you gaze at the pattern, absorbing the image internally. And as I did that, beloveds, I saw circles. I saw circles within circles within circles within circles. Okay, and that is the connections of everything, the conscious and the subconscious and all of that, and the ovaries and the eggs and the children that come from them, and the collective world and the physical world and the spiritual world and the universal cosmic world, and how all of it is just a flower of life blooming and blossoming. Okay. Sit with your vision or feeling and then gaze at the pattern of the flower of life below, holding the vision, feeling, or image in your heart as you gaze at the pattern, absorbing the image internally. Take your time. Enjoy the fact that you are seeding your vision or feeling. Relax into it as much as possible. Keep your gaze soft and let it hover over the pattern, noticing small individual flowers, then how they link together and continue. When you are ready, with your heart still connected to your vision and aware of the flower of life pattern, just say, of my own free will, divine harmony and grace, so be it. You can finish the ritual with the incantation below. Flower of life incantation. You can say this incantation before any visualization or affirmation, or as a closing to the ritual above, to boost your creative manifestation, causing it to come into concrete form in the physical world more rapidly. Flower of life, circles repeating, manifestation now increasing, creativity flowing fast, with power of the universe vast, the whole within a grain of sand. Manifestation forms from this hand, with unconditional love, so wise, uniting power of earth and skies. Flower of life, circles increasing, the energy grows through this speaking. And so it is. Again, the vulture headdress represents the mother. The bird on her arm is the sun Horus. And Isis holds them both sacredly within the flower of life, manifesting. The next card, Portal of Life. She glides on wings through space and time. Portal of Life. Portal of Light. Let's see. 121, which is a 4. 121. Okay. Portal of light. She glides on wings through time and space. It is only this physical reality that is bound by time and space. You are a being conscious on levels beyond the physical world. Thus the dream, the unconscious, the subconscious, and the conscious awareness, all merging into one. You are a being conscious on levels beyond the physical world. You are guided to work with your healing powers beyond the confines of time and space, and to allow your sense of self to expand. And that is understanding that the ages are merged. The ancestors are here present with us today. The wounds that they carried, I carry forward with me, and I have passed some on. But it is within my conscious awareness to heal in the now moment. And my healing in this now moment, my doing this so-called ritual magic, or this changing or ranging of my conscious awareness in this physical reality of my spiritual being that incarnated, will change mine, my mothers, her mothers, and all the way back to the first mothers, my daughters, my granddaughters, all the way around back again, because it's a circle. And so this is the portal of light. This is what this card is representing and speaking of, beloved. Okay, let's get into it a little bit more deeply. Sometimes this was shocking. Let me begin again, beloveds. Hold on, I need to wet my whistle, so to speak. Okay, it's just what I needed. Portal of light, she glides on wings through time and space. And I see the Silver Surfer on a surfboard. And as he's standing there, the surfboard are the wings. And he's standing on the wings. Wow. Okay. Wow. And this is dealing with Isis and her wings. She glides on wings through time and space. It is only this physical reality that is bound by time and space. You are a conscious being on levels beyond the physical world. You are guided to work with your healing powers beyond the confines of time and space, and to allow your sense of self to expand. This is your spiritual self, which is without boundaries, without time and space, has no beginning, has no ending, has no boundaries, has no limitations on it. Okay? This is what is time to allow to expand. It is safe for you to do this now. You will not become ungrounded through such spiritual growth. You are not leaving your earthly awareness. You are instead adding to it. And beloveds, for me, that is so damn powerful, because it is, excuse me, it is, how can I, well, just say it. Since I've been a child, I've seen many things within, in my inner seeing and inner knowing. And there was a time that I was not um, afraid of the things that I saw. But I was taught not to share those things. I was taught that was demonism. I was taught and conditioned to shrink away from these things, to push them away, to reject them, to see them as unnatural, to immediately unidentify with them, so to speak. And the biggest fear was leaving your earthly awareness and becoming ungrounded. To me, that was my mother. That was her bipolar. That was her going crazy. And she went crazy because she wasn't able to deal with all the spiritual conscious and conscious awareness. And that's what happened to her. And that's what the child in me, that's what happened to her. That's why she was the way she was. And when she would switch off and that demon would appear and be in front of me, I would not be afraid of it. But I knew it wasn't her, and I knew it was of her, in her. And I knew that it could physically harm me. But I also knew that there was a deeper part of her there and still present that was in the back. And bringing all this forward for me is I've always held back in just about everything, every single thing, in my relationships with myself, in my relationships with the men that I was in relationships with, in my relationships even with my children, and in my relationships with other family members. And so this is a big awakening for me. It is I'm hearing a call, and I'm sharing that so that I can witness it. Because I go back and I look at these tapes when I need to, and I hear them, and I hear different things, and I see different things, and I learn different things than just what is coming out of me right now in this moment. And so I know that it's going to be so pregnant with all kind of stuff that I'm just really thrilled. I'm really thrilled. And so, excuse me if this is just going on and on and on, but like I said, it's going to be so full of unconditional love and wisdom from a deeply spiritual womb hive, womb heart of the collective that, again, it's beyond space and time. So take it how you will. You are growing in power and awareness. You have had breakthrough insights where you realize that you are not who you thought you were. You are, in fact, a much vaster being. Sometimes this was shocking and uncomfortable and difficult to accept. At other times, it was gentle and made much sense to you. You are learning to integrate the legions, integrate this awareness of your vast self into life. The practical consequences of doing so are extraordinary. To live with less and less fear and insecurity, to become more detached and more passionate. And beloveds, that is the polarities and the paradox. right there, to become more detached but more passionate. And you're like, how the hell? But baby, it is more detached from the physical, mental mind. Okay? And your spirit becomes so, your spirit is what is passionate. Wow. Wow. Something just fell off of my wall, beloved. And it said, I love you, Mom. And it was something that my son and my daughter-in-law gave me for Mother's Day last year. And it has been hanging there since last year. Okay, and the frame and everything else is still there. But the rest of it fell down. It's like a glass plate. Okay. Like I said, beloved, it gets energy is something else. It's something else. But energy has always been like this for me, even as a child. So, like I said, it's nothing that I fear because I know it's a part of me. But it's just really deep. Okay. Integration. You are learning to integrate this awareness of your vast self into your life. The practical consequences of doing so are extraordinary. To live with less and less fear and insecurity, to become more detached and more passionate, more loving and less demanding, to need less and receive more, to feel more joy and exert less force to attain it. Such wonderful gifts await you. And beloveds, that is so true. That is so true for me because it has only been, I'll say, within this last year, actually, that I have been consciously aware of myself smiling and not putting my hand over my face. And that, to many, that may seem like, so, what? But for me, it was this gap, okay, and my teeth, and just how I feel about that within myself, and the being made fun of when I was, little for this gap, and your gap tooth this, your gap tooth heifer, and you know how we do. And so it was, I was made super consciously aware of this gap in my mouth. And I am such a big baby that I hate going to the dentist. Okay, so I'm just gonna deal. And so I always was covering my mouth, covering my mouth, covering my mouth when I speak, covering my mouth when I smile, because sometimes I'll smile so wide, my face will hurt because I'm smiling that wide, you know. And so all of this came up with my smile. And like I said today, I played Shanice, and one of her songs was "I Love Your Smile," and so all of this is just, it's just so deep and so naturally beautiful to me that I am just in awe of all of it, and it just, like I said, it just keeps expanding wider and wider, and the manifestations of it is taking me beyond the physical into the subconscious, into the spiritual, into form, into the elements, the elementals. It's just vast. And like I said, all of this energy is attracting the polarities of energies. And it's in the gathering of these polarities and frequencies that the observation and the witnessing takes place of the incarnated spirit, and that it is not about form or shape or color or gender or any of that. It is simply about the wisdom and of the frequency itself, the purity. And it, like I said, it's celestial singing. It's that universal sound. Ma, it's that this is mama. And it's just a wholeness, beloved. And it's a wholeness that I've never truly consciously been aware of before. And so it's very powerful. And let me go on because I got a lot of other cards to share. So here we go. You also become capable of exerting healing influence beyond time and space, which means being able to help free yourself and others if you choose to share your healing gifts. And I do, beloveds. I do. I do. And that is what I am doing my best to learn how to do in a manner that is most beneficial for all. That it is a circle, a continuing circle. You can learn to create freedom from trauma, attachment, history, and any other situations that may drain life force and distract from divine love. Did you hear that, beloveds? Hear it with your heart and your soul and your spirit, and understand what the physical mind, that I've done videos of it being a sadistic energy, entity, essence, and that it has symbiotically become attached to your identity of self, of who you are as a human being, as a person, even as a spiritual being, being unworthy, being a sinner, being less than. And that it is from this place, from this mind, this cage, this prison, that you must set yourself free. And only you can do it. No one else can. Jesus can't do it for you. God can't do it for you. They put everything you need within you. And only you can turn that key. Only you can develop, crystallize, give birth to the key that can unlock you from the cage of the sadistic mind. And can you emerge and advance into the vastness of your true being? Let me keep going. You can learn to create freedom from trauma, attachment, history, and any other situation that may drain life force and distract from divine love. Do you know every time you say, woe is me, or you sit on the pity pot, or you say, that's just me, or fuck it, because I was the fucking queen, baby. I was the fucking queen, okay? I didn't give a fuck. Fuck it. Blah, 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 fuck it. Blah, 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 fuck it. And meant it. That's that sadistic mind that's got you collared and on a leash. And all you can do is bark. Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. And in doing so, you disconnect from unconditional love. And you get farther and farther and farther away from the divine love of who you truly are. And you become more and more enslaved and more empowered of that mind. And that mind is going to manifest and create drama and situations that will trap you and slap your ass right back in that cage. Slap your being, your physical being, your conscious awareness, your mental mind, your physical presence right back in that cage. You believe you are that mind. You are that mind. That mind has your face, has your voice, has your memories, has your desires, has your fears, has your lusts, has your loves, has your addictions. It's your mirror. And it knows how to work everything against you to keep you locked up, keep you in this head looking out these eyes, these physical eyes, these two eyes right here. And it is only until that third one opens up and floods that cage with light, okay? Floods it with light, that you are truly able to see yourself and what you can love and what is love and what has no beginning or no ending and what is the true essence of who you are, that which incarnated. And we think it's separate, but it's one. No matter whether occurring in this or any other lifetime, you can learn to create freedom from trauma, attachment history, and any other situation that may drain life force and distract from divine love, no matter whether occurring in this life or any other lifetime. So ground yourself in this now moment, okay? And truly begin to look into you intimately and strip away everything that she, he inside of you, because we are both feminine and masculine. Strip away what no longer fits, what no longer serves, what no longer needs to be allowed. Let that spirit be that mama and rearrange and do the makeover, redecorate that whole vessel, that whole temple, that whole house, even if she got to destroy it all the way down to the foundation and rebuild it all the way back up. Beyond space and time, baby. In this present moment, be conscious, consciously aware. Portal of light. Isis guides you to powers and abilities to heal that are beyond time and space. It starts with the realization that what has happened in the past has power over you only to the extent that you allow it. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Your mind, which holds all those thoughts, all those ideas,